So first night shift, and we're waiting. What do you do? Oh, finally the shuttle showed up. We might be a little late. Time to go.
Not good.
Not good, huh?
Not good.
Busy night.
What floors were you guys on?
All right, so common question I get from everybody, or not, maybe not even a question, sometimes question and then statements are, stay safe. Everybody, stay safe, stay safe, stay safe. So show you kind of what we're doing, and I think everybody probably is doing a little bit different, but this is what I'm doing to try to minimize my exposure. And the fact of the matter is, and I mentioned this to one of the nurses that I'm here with as we were driving back to the hotel this morning, is that really all we can do is try to minimize our exposure. There's no way we're going to eliminate it. It doesn't matter how careful we are. It's just the reality of the situation. But we're doing our best to stay safe. Intermountain has done a good job of providing us with equipment to keep us safe. And the hospital we're at, New York Presbyterian, the hospital group, and then Milstein Hospital. I mean, we've got PPE, so that's not a problem. But even with all the PPE, and I think even doing our best, the fact is we're probably going to be exposed. Whether or not we contract it, I don't know. But that's just how it is. So I'll show you kind of what I do when I come home from a shift back to the hospital. I wear my home set of scrubs to the hospital and one pair of shoes to the hospital. And then when I get to the hospital, I change into scrubs that they provide us and into a different pair of shoes that I brought just to wear at the hospital. And then when we go down to the floor, we get our N95 masks and we get hair nets, and we've got a face shield that Intermountain provided us. Pretty much everything we can put on to really keep us safe. And then when we go in the room, we gown up, we put gloves on. I have shoe covers that I wear the entire time I'm there. And even still, I have not yet brought my work shoes back to the hotel. I just leave them at the hospital. So we're doing a good job, I think, of keeping ourselves safe, of doing what we need to do to try to minimize exposure. But I'll show you a little bit of kind of what I do when I get back to the hotel, just to add a little extra measure of security for myself. So when I walk in, this is kind of how our hotel's set up. We've got this nice tile landing. I can kick off my shoes and put them there, even though, like I said, I don't wear these to any patient care rooms or anything. These I just wear to the hospital, but I still just kick them off there. And then straight into the bathroom. I take off all of my clothes, even though these clothes have not been used for patient care. And then I hang everything up. So this is everything that I wear into the hospital. And this is as far into the room as it goes. I hang it up on the hangers. I do not touch it. Once it's there, it stays there until the next time I go into work, and then I'll put it back on. But again, I only wear this on the shuttle bus to the hospital. Then I take off everything I have, my watch, pens, chapstick, hotel key, my wallet, my cell phone. My cell phone I keep in a biohazard bag when I'm at the hospital, so it should be pretty clean regardless, but when I get home I still take everything out, and then I wipe everything down. These wipes are pretty potent. Years ago when I was a paramedic, I had a sweet nurse at one of the local hospitals that I'd taken a patient to the ER, and she told me these wipes will give you cancer. I was washing a stretcher without gloves, and I was using these wipes, and she shook her head at me and was like, those gloves will give you cancer. So they're potent. They kill everything. And so I wipe everything down. My hotel key, my watch, chapstick, pens. I don't take any mugs in with me to the room that I'm working at. I only take a water bottle. I leave it in a completely separate room, so when I leave for lunch, it's not been anywhere near patient care is. And then, so I clean all those off after I've taken off all my clothes, wipe down the entire counter again with wipes. Anything I've touched when I come in the room, I wipe down a couple times. Then a shower, and then it's in. And because I'm working night shift now, then I come home, close the curtains, and I go to bed. But by the time I'm in here, I should be pretty clean. Shouldn't be a big deal. Again, there's my clothes. They just stay there. They do not go any further than that. So I'll try to keep this one brief. The reason I was doing these update videos was for my wife and my kids, and I wanted them to kind of follow along on the journey while I was here. I did not expect the response that I got yesterday. And it was a little bit humbling to see that there were so many people concerned. Last night was a much better night, and I kind of expected it to go that way. Part of the issue with that first day here was you feel like you're a fish out of water, and everything you would do in a normal day as a nurse, you're not able to do because I was orienting with somebody and they have their way that they do things. And one of the things I teach the people that I orient at my work, new hires, is that I do things the way I do things. And there's some things there's a right and wrong. Like there are some things you have to do a certain way. Other stuff is really up to you. And so everybody needs to kind of find the way that they prefer to do things in a working day, in a 12-hour shift at a hospital. Find the way that things work best for you. And so that first day I couldn't do things my way. And being a experienced nurse, that's a little bit difficult. As a new hire, it's not so bad. But as an experienced nurse, that's a little tough. So we kind of knew last night would be better, and it was better. It's still very sick patients, but we were able to get in the rooms. We were in charge now. I was on my own. I had a couple of assistants with me, but I was the lead on patient care, and then we were able to get things done. One of the things that has been difficult to rectify in my mind as a nurse is that fear, rightfully so, fear and intimidation, I think, is driving patient care right now. And that is 100% understandable. It's a difficult situation to be in for the nurses that have been here, the nurses that are from New York and from this area who have dealt with this for a long time. The mental exhaustion, I'm sure, is just incredible. And so to be able to come here and to be refreshed and rejuvenated and not have to have dealt with this for a month and a half is a big advantage for those of us that are here. And we can come in with, in a sense, clean minds, and we can come in and one of the things I said to my coworker that's with me was we have the energy that we can give. And I think that's probably the most important thing is we've not been beaten down yet by the whole situation. So we were able to come in last night and do our thing. And I feel like do a really good job with taking care of these patients and doing what we can. You're not going to see me cry today because it was a good night. And the people that know me best know that typically emotionally I'm pretty even-keeled, I guess. I don't vacillate between extremes of emotion very often, but I'm also not afraid to process how I feel and to deal with it. So my video yesterday was me processing what I felt and processing the emotions that I was feeling. Fortunately, I have a huge support system around me, and I want to make abundantly clear that this situation is being handled by tens of thousands of incredible people. we are a small group from Utah, a small group. And in the scheme of things, we're a very small group. We're just kind of a drop in the bucket. The nurses, the doctors, people that have been on the ground here, RTs, techs, everyone who makes up a hospital system, those people that have been on the ground here in New York, those are the heroes. These are the people who have been dealing with this for a month and a half. And they are incredible, incredible, incredible people doing the best they can in what is an extremely difficult situation. And the flexibility, the fluidity of the hospital system, of the workers involved to be able to transition things and to make the best in what is a crappy situation has been pretty inspiring to see. They've had to do things that you never think about having to do. Some of the stuff they're implementing on the fly, things that nobody ever considered would be a necessity, and so you just don't have a plan for it. And they've done a remarkable job, just an absolutely remarkable job. The people of New York should be commended for the way that they've handled this situation and just how well they've done, because it could be much worse, but they have adapted so incredibly well, and it's been awe-inspiring to see. I want to, and you'll see some video today of Garrett. He's been with me kind of the whole time. He and I work in the same area. We work in the same unit back home, and so. But I want to give you a glimpse of the other people I'm here with as well. People that have come out here and given their time, and then also, if I can get some of them to be willing to share experiences and stories of the nurses from here, those that have been here the entire time, those that are part of this hospital group and don't get the opportunity or the option to leave in a couple weeks, because the fact of the matter is we're going to pick up and we're going to take off in a little bit. In actually about 12 days from now, I'll be heading back home, and some people don't get to leave. So whatever the decisions are made on a society level to try to balance economy with health, which is a difficult decision to make. It's not easy, but as a society, we have to find a balance there. These people will deal with the repercussions, whatever that is, and I'll get to go home and separate myself from it again. So if you're a prayerful person, offer your prayers for those people, for those that are here and those that can't leave and are going to have to deal with it. And throw your support behind the people of New York, the doctors and nurses that are here and have been here, because, man, they've done a fantastic job, a really good job. And we're going to get through this. Like I said on my video yesterday, science and medicine is going to figure it out. There's just so many unknowns, and I think that's the difficult thing for those of us in patient care is sometimes we have a pretty good handle on what we need to do when we need to do it for various illnesses. And there's just so many unknowns still with this, why it affects certain people the way it does. There's a broad range of symptoms and a broad range of severe effects that come along with it, and they're not the same for everybody. And so trying to narrow down why that happens has been difficult. Answers are going to come. It's just going to take a while. But I'm grateful for the people around me, the people that have been on the ground here for so long, and I'm going to learn a lot while I'm here. This is partly why I wanted to come out here, was I felt like it would make me a better nurse when I go home. I'm going to see how things are done in a different system. Maybe learn some things from the nurses here that will benefit me when I go back home. See how they do some things, because I don't always get it right. So I like to be able to meet new people and to see if somebody's got a better way to do something than how I'm doing it. So last night was a good night. Tonight's going to be a good night. We're winning this thing. It's going to be a long road, but there are successes. There are miracles happening. people are getting better. And as bad as my first day was in terms of just the shock factor, last night was just as good. It was nice to be back in my mode and do things my way and help in the way that I know how to help. So I'll keep you guys updated. Try to post. I don't know that I'll be able to do one every day. I just may end up saying the same stuff over and over again, but thank you for your support. Thank you for the comments. Reach out to those if you know other people who are here or nurses that live in this area. Reach out to them because this is a huge effort. It's so many people, and there are tens of thousands of people that could use support and kind words right now. So thanks.